But for Vascar, it is going to be a high-flying map. It's going to be very, very exciting. For UYU, the wolf packing is great. We know they love their teamwork, but one thing that makes them special on this map is they're not scared to send stragglers out. They're not scared to send that individual through mid or maybe even wrap around to lock in a hill, right? And to force the enemy, whether it be Pittsburgh Knights or any team they face off against, to kind of double back, you know, and just allocate their resources in a way that maybe wasn't intended. But for Pittsburgh Knights, you're going to see them moving collectively as one unit, and UYU has to find a way to shut down. But without further ado, let's get right into it. PK versus UYU.
Going to be on board with PJ as he goes for that neutral hill, but he's going to very quickly be taken down by Raver. SuMuNs going to find himself in the kill feed as well. That's going to be a very quick 2 down for UYU. Kenny's going to take a lot of damage as well. Some good counter fire coming through, but SuMuNs, he's going to hold strong before finally being dropped. Powerz trying to pick up some of the pieces, hit some good shots, but he's going to eventually be dropped as well. It's going to be all up to Praized. He's doing a good job of getting a couple kills in the mix. Unfortunately, Monkyz is going to be there to get the kill and to get the revive off as well. TJ staring down the barrel of many, many members of PK heading towards that C hill.
All right, PK with that minor lead again. They started off strong. Now, you notice what UYU's doing. They're pressuring in onto A. Player 3, that's going to be SuMuNs coming in to join the mix, but you got to push up baby steps. That's one choke point to get through, but they make it with ease. Around the corner, though, Dezo will take down Xplosive, forcing TJ back, and the push has been thwarted as, man, PK will hold on defensively very well. UYU, though, you notice, managed to get on B and C. Short-lived, though, as PK is going to go ahead and get the decap on C plus the full.
SuMuNs just kind of waiting, surveying. Praized going to sit near that one hill that the boys on UYU do have control of. In the meantime, you do have the Pittsburgh Knights up a little over 50 points and counting. It's like potentially UYU looking to make their way over towards C. You're going to see a couple members of the Pittsburgh Knights there waiting. SuMuNs going to quickly retreat. I think they realize where the push is coming from. On the other side, things are starting to look good. Monkyz is going to find himself in the feed, getting a kill on the Praized. UYU looking to secure that 2 cap, but in the meantime, you're going to see PK running right over the neutral hill. That's basically how Vascar works, right, Taylor? You basically control one hill. All right, we're going to rotate over the other one. We're just going to keep moving in a circle.
Absolutely, and you know, it's like a fishbowl, man. That's what I like to call it. Just constantly swimming around in a circle, endlessly trying to just get on the hills objectively. But hey, for UYU, finally, they're going to get A and C locked in. For Identivez, though, caught out. I don't know what he was trying to do from that positioning, but I think he was just trying to get away in general from the UYU pressure. And now UYU is going to be coming through, trying to now lock in B. So this is where PK probably needs to send a straggler out if they can. You can see them trying to do that through mid, but player 9 holding his own. That's Xplosive, hits 1, but not the second. Even so, though, UYU on all hills going for the domination. A will be broken, but my question is now, will UYU have the win condition? And I think they will.
Right. Underway, you're going to see Dezonide try and maintain any control he can, but Powerz is going to go ahead and take him out. PK looking to still hop on that hill, but Powerz gets the touch, and that could be just enough. They cross the 230-point mark. The kill on the SuMuNs. Identivez not spawning back in. Raver, Monkyz, not enough time left. UYU, they're going to hop on both hills, and great job by them securing this round.
Yeah, fantastic job, man. I mean, for them to take this round being down as far as they were, good on them, you know, good on them. It started with making that high-pressure play, getting in those the double hill setup. More importantly, though, Identivez being in mid, getting caught out. I think he was, like I said, just running away from the UYU members, but kind of all by his lonesome. And then again, PK then tried to pressure through mid as well to get a break. And I think they needed to do that, but it was a trade in mid, and PK did in fact end up winning that. But at the end, though, UYU just kind of covered all their angles. So good on them for taking that first round, a round that I didn't think they would win.
You know, absolutely, and that's one way to get the grand final started, right? Especially it's a team like PK on this map. Of course, UYU picked it for a reason. We know that this is a map they've been very, very strong on as well. So they have in store for us here as round number 2 is going to begin. You're going to see both teams just kind of mirroring that same strategy of using that utility. We are on board with Powerz.
All right. TJ as well on that tank. So you're going to have a bit of a standstill 3v3. Now for PK, though, they will take C, and they're looking outwards as Player in 7 and 8 now is going to be pushing, and that's Powerz and Kenny. So they'll be taking their time. But for the most part, a break will go through. You would have to think player 5 is really far up there. He's definitely want to challenge baby steps for Praized, though. He's getting a bit tired of this. Right? He's getting a bit tired. He just wants to go ahead and emote. Raver says, you know what? I really don't care. Okay, I don't care if you're angry. I don't care if you're tired of wasting time. I can do what I want. I'm a free man. But for PK, though, they can stay at the standoff all they want. UYU is the one that need to make the move. PK has the point lead. Now, granted, it's never going to come down to that. We know that. But the point is, PK does have that lead. So, finally, some utilities out. And for Dezo, he will manage to take down Powerz. And good for him, as now the scoreline still very close. And Kenny looks to go for a break, though the power is still there as Dezo gets in another nice shot. Kenny will be angled out. Raver, though, will be taken down. And Monkyz, Raver, all gone. His explosive pushes straight through them. The break on B is there, but then again, so is A. And PK actually will, in fact, now fall behind as UYU will take the point lead for the first time in this round. And PK starting to look a bit sluggish as UYU now is starting to really heat up, win those fights. You could really see how they're Wolfpack getting together, 4 strong. And in fact, now 2v1 and player 5 Dezo, no worries at all. And this is where UYU's going to be the deadliest, is when they Wolfpack it together, stay in it. PK is going to have a hard time to go neck and neck with them. In fact, SuMuNs now already on his last life. Monkyz and Raver will drop down to 1 out of 4 themselves. Identivez is gone, and this round looks like it's going to be over with. UYU is playing this actually very, very well.
No, very, very well played round by UYU. And like I said, man, that's why I told you, I don't see a world where this is just a one-sided match, right? Despite how well PK is playing, despite any of the struggles of UYU. This is one of those teams, when they hit the grand final, like, they know what time it is, you know what time it is, the fans know what time it is. So still plenty of matches to go, but they're looking good so far.
Looking great so far, man. UYU 2-0 versus PK. Granted, let's go back to week number 7. UYU did 2-0. Pittsburgh Knights take over the victory. So opportunity is absolutely there. For PK, though, they are fighting for their 3rd grand championship, or at least championship here in E-Day Season 3, but so is UYU. So whoever wins this actually will, in fact, be the most winningest team so far when it comes to E-Day's Season number 3. Because VQ, UYU, and PK are all tied at 2 championships apiece. So this is going to break that pattern. One of them will be sitting at 3. I'm seeing a trend here, man. Again, Monkyz is... I believe that means stop, by the way, if you're going to be doing that. But, yeah, Praized is going to go and emote himself and get shot. Actually thinking now he's just kind of tempting and poking the bear. I don't know what's up with these standstills. I don't know if it's a respect thing. If it's kind of like they just kind of need a break, and this is kind of their breaking point, if you will. They're like, all right, check it out. Let's just set up here. Bathroom breaks galore. Just go for it. But I am seeing a trend.
I think I'm watching Fall Guys right now, right? Just everyone running around emoting over and over. Just kind of wiggling around back and forth, right? A little movement here, a little movement there, throwing emote out.
Fall Guys, man. Fall Guys.
I love that game.
I know you do. You played that a lot. You played it quite a bit. You still play it?
It's the only game. I don't have time to play games very much anymore. So when I do, it's the easiest, pick up and play game for a little bit.
Nice and casual. Nice and casual game.
Speaking of picking up and play, it looks like the initial's finally starting. Identivez is going to get a couple kills in the feed. So as we put down the conversation about my washed up gaming career, we can go ahead and get back onto the battlefield as the Pittsburgh Knights have now secured that 2 cap. Looks like just as I said it, back into that slow phase again. I don't believe this is a Vascar round right now. This is the most I'm seeing the most wild setup. This is more of a setup I've seen in one round than I've seen the rest of the season on the map.
Yeah, I really can't figure it out. Like I'm just genuinely trying to figure out, like, are they just working on setups? What's going through their minds right now? But then again, right now this fight looks like Vascar, right? I mean, we've seen an explosive just kind of push into each other. And for Powerz, he will take down Identivez. So UYU looks like they're going to make good on this push. C is going to be broken. Player after player from PK now starts to fall off. Dezo, though, from the flank, Powerz is going to manage to take him down with that final shot that goes in. Kenny was there for a good measure just to help him. And A is going to be broken. For PK, though, they will manage to get down low onto B. So they'll stay alive. But this is the thing. PK had a decent lead. Now UYU is going to catch up.
see the scoreline getting closer and closer as we head towards that 200-point mark. So this next fight is going to be absolutely crucial. Dezonide in the feed, taking out Xplosive. Monkyz is going to be dropped as well. The Powerz, once again, man, he's done such a good job tonight, just catching people off guard when they least expect it, looking to make it even more as he's putting in a lot of good team fire. UYU successfully holding down this A hill, at least for now. SuMuNs going to give his best attempt at a 2. He's going to actually end up getting the kill. And it looks like PK now have the numbers of 3 versus 2, securing that 2 cap. That's going to give them the potential real estate they need in terms of these objectives. But if Xplosive gets the kill onto Identivez, the break's going to come almost in time. But it looks like at the same time, Monkyz, he's gotten the break onto C as well. If UYU can cap both these at the same time, that should be enough. A touch comes in onto B. If they can play the game of touches back and forth, the cushion's only a few seconds. But if UYU manages to get this cap, that might do it. Raver, he's going to get 1. He's at the meat shield. Will the break come through? The break does. Pittsburgh Knights, they're up by just 1 second. No one else is on the battlefield. UYU, they have managed to get out of this round alive.
Woo! UYU pulling in, or putting in work, I should say, right? They were doing this just earlier versus Rise as well. Let's not forget countless rounds where it seemed all was lost, but they managed to take it in the end. And versus PK, hey, no worries at all. UYU is going to play like UYU regardless. Down 3-0, and the question is very serious for PK. First and foremost, what do they do to start getting a leg up on UYU? And more importantly, what do they decide to do here? I actually don't know. Okay, they were just, who knows, man? A disable, that would have been wild. Look, this whole map has kind of been just wild in general. So smokes are down. So nothing crazy. Where most teams would have put a drop shot, well, they don't want that. They want to just go mono and mono, keep it normal.
We're going to see both teams off the initial. Taylor, I guess we'll ask the question, right? Are we going to see another one of these slow Vascar rounds? I'm not used to seeing that pace for so long on this map. There's a lot of high flying action, a lot of just quick rotations. So we're seeing a lot of the same right now as TJ sits on that tank, kind of waiting to see exactly what members of Pittsburgh Knights are going to do. Praized will be there alongside. No emoting just yet, so they are dragging on the emoting.
Well, contact. Yeah, they definitely are. This is interesting. Actually, UYU backtracking. Okay, so interesting strategy. I think PK was expecting, much like us, to kind of just have like another slow start, but UYU pulls an audible and sends the 3 players to assist, right? They were able to take down SuMuNs, 1 just before that, and then, of course, get on to C. So good on them for now taking over the objective, and now it's all about allocating your resources to stop a push from PK. And it seems as if they made the right call, the right decision. They will send 3 over to defend against the 3 players from PK who are now pushing in. Monkyz, utility in hand, ready to go for it. And as far as player number 3, that was SuMuNs. He'll now be dropped down to his last life once again. He tried to get on the C, but it was a 1v2, and it was good on Kenny and Xplosive. But the break does not happen. UYU successfully takes down 3 players from PK. Again, SuMuNs on his last life. That is going to be the hardest hit to PK in general. Be down 5-4, especially with how UYU's been playing. It's going to be pretty devastating to say the least, but they're still in it, even though they're down, what, about 60 or so, maybe 70 and counting points, but because who knows when it's going to stop. Right now, PK is not getting any breaks.
Throwing smoke.
A lot of pressure coming through. UYU maintaining almost a 60-point lead and counting. Getting closer to that 200-point mark. SuMuNs is going to be on his last life. Of course, we are in the last round of the half, so both teams throwing whatever resources they can here at this round.
All right,
down coming through from Powerz. Yeah, he's making his way forward, but he tried. Jumped into the blender. Still plenty of time for PK to make this happen, but got to make something happen quickly. They can't afford to kind of play back and forth. They can't afford to play trades. Whatever they do has to be definitive. It's going to be 3 members down, looking to make it a 4th. The down comes through. Monkyz is going to pick it up. Powerz and Kenny are the last 2 remaining. This could be a big opportunity now for PK. SuMuNs managed to stay alive despite being on his last life. Shot grenade, though, is going to keep the Knights off of A, at least for now, so it's going to slow them down. Looking like the Knights will probably have to make 1 more solid push now because of how that shot grenade impacted them. UYU off spawn, looking strong, and a lot of damage in, and it's looking like that will be enough. It's going to only be 3 members remaining for PK, and UYU's at full strength.
Raver, though, coming in and unfortunately going out. And like you said, UYU full strength. So this is the thing. In that fight, it was still relatively even until SuMuNs got a point-blank shot onto Monkyz and ended up taking him down, and that shifted the favor, of course, into UYU. An unfortunate team kill, and then that left SuMuNs by himself, already on his last life, and UYU easily cleaned him up. You notice Monkyz didn't even try to respond there. He knew it was over with. 4-0. UYU is dominating, and again, just like the matchup in semifinals, PK versus VQ, I'm shocked. This is not how I expected this series to go whatsoever, but now the shoe's on the other foot. I expected PK to be so dominant versus UYU, but not the case at all. 4-0, and quickly looking to make it 5-0. There has been no indication that PK can even win one round. I mean, what? There was one close one. That was it? They've only had one close round, and that was, what, round number 2, round number 1? But ever since, though, UYU's just been unstoppable. There's nothing PK has been able to do that even shows a glimmer of hope. Wild stuff, man. Did not expect this whatsoever, but let's see how it ends up. We've seen wilder comebacks happen, Ryan, and, well, it is 4-0. UYU, they may be on the cusp of victory, but they haven't got it yet, and it looks like good old-fashioned standstill. So we'll be waiting a little bit for both teams to get situated. When you're down 4-0, you just got to maybe take a breather and say, hey, what's up? There we go. Powerz 16-3. Pull it up again. Yeah, pull that up. 16-3, 8 deaths. Not bad. Xplosive 12-7 with 6. PK, though, nobody in double digits. Maybe if you combined kills and assists. Throw in the deaths in there, too. Of course, nobody in double digits, but, I mean, look at that. And then on the other side, though, for UYU, nobody in double digits for deaths for them. So you can see how dominating UYU has been, and primarily in that slaying category, and in general, just the assist category. Like, look at Kenny, Praized, and TJ. They may not have the most kills, and in fact, their kills aren't impressive at all, but their assists, 10, 11, and 14, they're putting in that damage. You know, they're putting in that damage per second and allowing Powerz and Xplosive to push up and get the finishes. That is more, I would rather have that across the board than to be looking at PK and, you know, kind of see like everybody, you know, hovering around the same amount of kills, but also the same amount of assists. Not a lot of teamwork there. But, I mean, really, seriously, just in those assists alone, UYU, you can just see that stat line, right? That just showcases fantastic teamwork. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultimate sign of good teamwork is always going to be in the assist column, right? Especially when you have a lot of double digits that are all sort of near the same amount of number, right? You got, you know, like I said, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, when you're all sort of floating around those same numbers, that really tells you that it is a 5-man effort, right? That everyone's putting in that damage, everyone's contributing to a lot of these kills, and it's not just someone getting a 3-piece shotgun plays.
Yeah, because those flashy plays are cool, right? I mean, everybody loves to see them. They make highlights. But, I mean, at the end of the day, those flashy plays, you can't really do them consistently. You might be able to do them in one moment, one map you may pop off. But like throughout a series, throughout a tournament, throughout a just show match in general, you're not going to be able to make those flashy plays consistently. So where you have to bank on are those assists. And for UYU, those assists are absolutely paying dividends. So good on them. PK definitely struggling. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's because of a lot of individuality. I mean, again, PK, I thought their wolf packing would be a lot better, but I mean, there's a lot of times I'm catching on the minimap, you know, 1 or 2 players kind of by their lonesome pushing into a 1v2 or 1v3. And you're not going to consistently win those. I don't care who you are. It's just not going to happen. So PK might be able to make this comeback possible. But for now, oh, yeah.
A nice Gears Esports glitched Lancer.
Oh, yeah. That's glitchy.
See it.
Oh, yeah. That's nice.
Those animated weapon skins are always fun.
I love them. In any game in general, man, I love them. Animated skins to rule them all.
And rocking that.
He's got the full
those
set.
Chrome Steel characters too. Yeah, Powerz is just a walking billboard for Gears Esports in game. You just love it. See a little Chrome Steel. You see a little Gears logo on that Chrome Steel character too. It's just the little details.
I've been playing a lot of Gears actually as of recently, and I'm loving seeing as much Gears Esports support. Just in my low E, because I'm in low elo, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, I'm not Blaze, I'm not Colin, I'm not Ryan. I'm not out here saying like, look, I can play on with the best of them. I can't. But I can say this, I noticed the Gears Esports support, especially when I'm getting killed, okay? All right, let's get it going. PK, though, is going to be starting it off strong with E and F. UYU, though, they've got the teamwork, and they've got the Wolfpack. And again, the individuals. Player 5 gets Lancered out. 3, though, goes in mid by his lonesome. He puts himself in a 1v2 situation. However, though, for player number 4, Monkyz, he will get the best of TJ. So that's going to keep PK in it objectively. Maybe not for long. Player 8's going to be pushing in strong, going for the finishes, and one will come into play. That's going to be Raver dropping as well as Identivez. So just like that, UYU. Oh, Dezonide actually comes from the flank, something I didn't see. So all that talk, no, UYU will not be in control. It will be absolutely PK. They are looking good.
They certainly are, and they got a lot of work to do here if they're going to bring us back on Vascar. So far, this map has been entirely UYU from the start up until now. Of course, it says UYU's map pick. So again, I mean, we kind of looked at that as kind of a bold pick too, right? Wow, picking a map like Vascar against PK, but clearly that was for a reason. Talk about teams doing their homework, man. This team is looking very strong. So if you're a future opponent of UYU, you might want to think about this Vascar map when it comes to those pick bans.
You might want to do so. Obviously, with UYU playing as so well as they are. But again, though, they're still in it. As PK might have a decent lead, but SuMuNs, never mind. That's going to be a couple of solid, fantastic kills. And PK looking good as Identivez now at the forefront, but now he's going to be sandwiched. 3 members push him. And UYU will take him down. But still, even with him falling there, what does UYU gain from it? PK still has D and F. And it's going to be hard to break any of these hills. Granted, they will respawn back in to try and make it happen. And that split push is there. They successfully pushed back 2 members from PK. So PK is not pushing back. They're actually retreating. But it seems as if they did get a nice break as player 0 is going to fall. That's Praized. TJ now looking at a wall of PK members. So I think there's a very good chance they take this.
It's definitely looking strong. They got to hold down this one more hill. See Powerz dropped in the feed. Identivez going to get more and more aggressive onto TJ. He's going to fall as well. And so far it is looking good for PK to secure their first round here in the grand finals. Again, we've seen crazy comebacks happen in the past. So especially when you have 2 teams of this caliber, no one is ever truly out of it. See what UYU has in response for us here on the next round.
All right, next round, like you said, sometimes it is a tale of 2 halves, a little bit of a technical pause, but PK does take it after that. 12-8 for Dezo, really stepped it up there, and so did Monkyz. Biggest thing to take away from that, UYU off the initial, was pushing in pretty strongly on F. They ended up, I believe it was Identivez, who ended up getting taken out over in Crater, right? Literally smack dab in the middle of the map. And then one of the PK members, and the name slips my mind, but ended up winning, I believe, a nice 1v1 on F. And that kept PK in it. So objectively, UYU may have been picking up some nice kills, but they were losing in the way of objective. And because of that, well, UYU was constantly trying to regain any type of control that they possibly could, but they never could, right? As soon as they would take over a hill, PK was already on the next, going for the decap, going for the full cap. So PK played that very well, and we'll have to see if they can maybe keep that up. They have a long road to go down, especially if they want to send it to a round 9. But again, like Ryan said, when it comes to these calibers of teams, you never know. I mean, unless the map is over, you never know who's going to be able to win it. So we'll have a bit of a standstill once again, like we were having in the earlier rounds in the first half. But for E, though, it looks like we might have an engagement between Powerz and Monkyz that will slowly be underway. But for Tank, though, I mean, hey, nobody wants to make that move. A lot of utility, but no deaths.
On the other side of the map, you're going to start to see some action. You're going to see a shock grenade being placed. Monkyz tries to dance around, but he does end up getting taken out. It looks like Raver will be there for the revive, but the Incen's going to come through. That's going to be first blood for UYU. They're going to go ahead and grab that neutral hill. Powerz will be traded out. As Raver makes his way forward, is once again UYU maintaining control early.
Oof, Raver goes for the reload. Magazine goes flying. He's ready to go as now UYU is going to set up a defense right in front. Dezo, though, is going to pressure up onto Kenny. Raver's going to join in. So Kenny in trouble here, but an opportunity to make a big move is there, but unfortunately a bit of a miss move. as he will fall to the wayside. And now Raver knows player's weak, and he gets to finish on Xplosive and the break. So PK down. About years will be able to come back from that. And they're not done. They're going to continue to pressure up, but SuMuNs and Identivez will not be as lucky. Raver and Dezo last up here. And UYU knows they have the man advantage. They've been counting numbers, and they're going to go in and pressure in onto E. That's going to force Raver back. Meanwhile, though, Powerz will also be pressured back himself. Player 9 needs to get there. Xplosive has to help. And it looks like he's taking a different approach. He wants those two members to pressure up, but he's actually going to backtrack and Lancer in. As the shock does get thrown, so it's going to make things a bit tricky. Either way, though, PK, they need to get this push in. This is their moment to shine. Will they be successful? We'll find out. Dezo is going to drop, though. Monkyz will be setting up, and the hill is going to get broken, though. Utility is out. UYU still there with the Lancer. Kenny tries to go in for the chunks. Not going to happen. Shut down. But D has been taken by UYU, and again, Vascar, it's all about that next hill. You're not really focused on the one you're getting. You're focused on the one you're going to be after. And for UYU, they're doing that well. But E does get broken. Ryan, this is an opportunity for PK.
You know, it certainly is. And you're going to see now Dezonide start to hop on that neutral hill. SuMuNs trying his best to create that much more of a distraction over on the home hill and try to just stop that bleeding on the scoreboard. But he's going to end up dropping at the hands of Praized. Teammates looking to avenge that death. Praized is going to try to just value his life, right? Not force unnecessary deaths. And he does end up getting the kill onto Raver as well. So it looks like he will drop in the end. But as long as UYU does hold down the one hill they have, that would be enough.
Yeah. Might be able to do it. I think they're going to do it. In fact, actually, player 3 now by his lonesome into 3 members from UYU. Not going to happen. Shut down. And PK will only get as far as 1 round win. 5-1 UYU betters, or at least will, in fact, improve their performance from week number 7 when they played off on Vascar. Or at least they didn't, excuse me. That would have been map number 3. But either way, 5-1 is something I was not expecting. But for UYU, all in a day's work, man. They played so well. 21-6. 21-6. And I believe 12 deaths there for TJ at the top. Good stuff, man. I'm impressed. I'm not going to lie, Ryan. UYU played that very well. That is not how I expected Vascar to go.
No, I mean, like I said, we came into this thinking that PK was definitely a big favorite in this matchup. And hey, UYU does what they do best, man. They always find a way to remind everyone whenever there's an ounce of doubt. They always had to remind everyone exactly who they are. It's a team full of champions. So good job by them getting this party started the right way, taking map number 1 here in the grand finals.
Hey, check it out. It was a good first map for UYU. They'll take those. 5-1 victory. They lead 1-0. Of course, we still have more maps to go. Next one is going to be Forge PK's map pick, but we're going to go to a quick little break. When we come back, we'll be heading into map 2. Don't go anywhere. of UYU. He got the decap, plus he's getting the full cap.
Number five.
Just like that.
That's up ahead, or maybe that's Inzem. Yeah, that's Inzem in their spawn,
There's
causing
drops.
havoc, and he actually lures both players into the drop shot of Rush in clutch plays from Inzem. Rush and Icy, they get the break. They need to maintain for a little bit, and they do.
Are out. The damage is coming out as well. Monkyz, you saw his light flash before. Oh, Raver with a little self-inflicted harm there. That gives UYU a little bit of momentum. Chaotic, and it could work more into UYU's favor.
Well, in this case, it seems to be so. Xplosive picks up not one, not two, but three.
Somebody, anybody, just, oh my God.
Oh,
And he even makes it a 4. Are you kidding me?
what a way to finish the round.
Back-to-back headshot deaths to Praized.
Gets the shot on mental. He finished the shot. No one is there in time. Powerz has done it single-handedly.
Xbox record that. What a play.
Welcome back, everybody, to Emergence Season 3, Week number 9, going into map number 2 between UYU and PK here in Grand Finals. An impressive victory on Vascar, 5-1, man. UYU absolutely dominated that. PK did not have a leg to stand on. But now the question is, will they be able to replicate that success going into PK's map pick on Forge? Well, we'll definitely find out relatively soon. I'm Taylor Reflections Noble, joined by Ryan Full Summers. A lot to take away from Vascar. Clearly, UYU, they've got it locked in.
They looked incredibly strong, and we knew this would always be a good matchup when these two teams faced off. And I think we both thought Vascar would be a little closer, but again, still plenty of series to go.
Yeah, plenty of series indeed, right? I mean, game number 3 is probably going to be right around the corner. This is the thing about Forge. It's an interesting one. We've seen Forge already tonight. PK, obviously, 5-0 victory over the boys of VQ. So this is the thing, man. It's like, how is UYU going to be able to play on this map? I really don't know. For some reason, you have still strong on Forge, which is surprising. You would think they absolutely would be. Just not the strong Forge team. And the same thing with like VQ. They may be very dominant on some maps, but Forge, they just don't do well on. So for Pittsburgh Knights, especially beating VQ 5-0, I strongly feel they are going to be able to turn this series around. Send it to game number 3, of course, on District. But who knows? After that victory 5-1, I didn't expect that at all, right? I did not expect that at all. UYU, I thought they were going to lose it. Going into it, PK looked unstoppable, but clearly, they just simply weren't. But we'll be getting it started very shortly. Big stat lines, though, right? Coming out from TJ, 21-6, 12 deaths to him. Hopefully, he can step it up and do just as good of a job here going into Forge. Who are you favoring?
Yeah, I mean, heading into Forge, we've seen PK play very well, but I mean, I think UYU just kind of gave us that little reminder of kind of who they are as well. So, like I said, I did into the series, think that it would potentially go that map number 3. I am going to kind of stick with that. So I am going to give Pittsburgh Knights the nudge on Forge, just because I just again had a feeling coming in this would go to map number 3. So yeah. I am going to go with the boys and the Knights to bounce back.
I think that's fair, right? I mean, you have to, like I said, when it comes to Forge, UYU just not the strongest team there. PK, though, looking pretty good. Looking actually very good, even though they kind of started off a bit sluggish on it, especially preseason, but now it seems as if they've kind of cleaned that up. So a good pick for them, something that I actually expect them to pick quite often as we do move forward in split number 1. But it is going to be a big test for UYU. Who knows? Maybe they're a different animal tonight, maybe a different beast. Clearly, they've been playing very well before. I mean, they made it here for a reason. The victory over Rise was great. It was, pretty convincing on District 5-2. That's what the map will be coming, or at least for game number 3. So they've already added that entrance, right? They are guaranteed a game number 3 if they do lose this. But at most, or at least at best case scenario, they win it and win 2-0. So UYU's in a great spot, but we'll find out how this is going to unfold. Players 3 and 5, that's going to be Powerz and Kenny. They're going to be going up top to challenge Monkyz and Dezo. And it looks like, Identivez, as he'll go ahead and clean 4 down for UYU. And this is what I was talking about. That's slaying power. Remember, we got to see literally one round with PK versus VQ. And the one that we watched ended in like 33 seconds, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about them bouncing back, right? This is quite the way to bounce back. A very, very quick round to strike first here on Forge. Again, for what it's worth, I doubt PK expected Vascar to go like that as well, right? It's usually they don't get beat like that on that map by anyone. So I think they're striking back with a vengeance here in map number 2. See what UYU has in store for us. You're going to very likely see a lot of this utility placed on both ends. Not really expecting to see much until the later rounds. You could see potentially that torque bow up top again. I'm seeing a lot of torque bow up top on Forge, which has been kind of fun to watch. So we'll see if we get there.
Yeah, it's there for a number of reasons, obviously, to kind of block the Marxists from going up to torque bow, double torque bow. It's fun to watch it, right? But it's just not really the big meta. The big thing, though, for torque bow up top is for Monkyz, especially if he gets his hand on it. He's going to be deadly with it. So big incentive for PK to go ahead and throw that up there, if you will. A lot of fights going down, though. B is going to be 1. Player 4 from UYU will fall to the wayside. Now it's a 1v1 between 7 and 2. Granted, we still have this top fight going down. 2's about to be edged out by player number 9. He will win that 1v1. Either way, though, Identivez is going to be hitting some nice shots on the Kenny. He will fall. Powerz now to 1v1 himself. And PK will win that top fight. But there is a silver lining, if you will, for UYU. They managed to go for that overextension. They won a couple of critical fights. So, objectively, they'll have the double home mill set up.
See Raver getting pushed all the way back into spawn. TJ's going to be on his trail, and there's going to be a member of PK just spawning right in front of their faces. So they got to wait for that spawn shield to go away as Identivez going to get the down. Monkyz will clean up both TJ and Xplosive. So it's going to buy the Pittsburgh Knights some more time as we now have a 3 versus 3 on the field. Some good team fire coming through from UYU's. Monkyz gets those revives off. Right now, UYU definitely in control, right? They grab that neutral hill. Of course, they have their own home hill. Now they're building that lead as we head towards that 100-point mark.
Yeah, nice. UYU with the lead, and again, that's based on the overextension. So with no power weapons, with it only being round number 2, there's not going to be these big deviations in fights. Of course, button control is still going to be there, not necessarily for the button, but more so for the Lancering down. SuMuNs, bit of an awkward fight there as he will run into Identivez, but the pickup is in. SuMuNs and Raver will fall. Kenny looks to get the cleanups himself. A lot of UYU, a lot of moving pieces in general, but the biggest one to pay attention to is 5 and 4. And of course, that's Kenny and Praized, who have successfully went for that overextension. And now player 8 is by himself, and that's going to be around. PK will lose round number 2. UYU will tie it up. Good on them. And that started with that overextension. Button fight was impressive. It was 1. And at first, too, PK was actually winning the neutral. But it was the overextension that forced PK members to kind of go awry, rotate back, and eventually put themselves in positions that obviously wasn't fortunate for them. So good job for UYU. Take that round tied up.
Absolutely. Like you're seeing some back-end utility being placed on the side of UYU. Looks like PK potentially choosing to invest in some of those secondary spots earlier. In place just yet. They're going to use a smoke grenade, so interesting to see them, not quite mirror each other just yet. Of course, both teams did place that utility, but not necessarily in the same way or in the same spot. So we'll see. Still a very, very clean initial. I think obviously the funnest part about this map is watching that up top initial, watching those kind of duos go at it up top. Looks like on the side, UYU, we are going to once again have good old Kenny and Powerz, that dynamic duo that didn't lose an event last season.
Yeah.
That top on the Knights. Got Identivez.
Okay.
Unfortunately fall as well. So UYU still
this is huge.
Looking strong. A big fight in the middle as well. Praized gets 1.
They got it.
The trades are there. That's 5 down. Dezonide should be off spawn. They are.
I don't know if they have time.
The trip.
I don't know if
Dezonide get to the hill in time.
I don't think he's going to be able to. Actually, you know what? He is going to be just there. No, he won't.
Ooh,
TJ gets the chunk.
TJ at the 1 yard line.
And you could tell him, right? He was running in and he kind of saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and then all of a sudden he kind of backtracks, right? To just kind of goes to the right, trying to dance around, and TJ's like, nah, it's not going to happen. Chunks him, like you said, at the 1 yard line for UYU. 2-1, they're up. So first round may have just been a whiff in general. For UYU, they'll start building up. Looks like there's smokes and everything, just maybe getting that much closer to the Marxa, which means we are going to be that much closer to a torque bow up top, which I guarantee you is going to be coming in the next round. And I bet you PK for sure is going to place it up top. I guarantee you, without question. Unless they match the utility.
I really enjoyed
It's either
having
Torque Bow up top or utility.
I really enjoyed having that element of the torque bow up top because obviously the winning, for one, it's a little more to fight for, and two, when that winning team grabs it, just kind of the lines of sight that you have up top and button, the torque bow is just meant for situations like that. So it's been cool to see that sort of develop into the meta right now, and it looks like PK is doing a much better job on the early stage of this round up top. Identivez gets that first blood. Now he wants more. He's going to move forward towards both Kenny and Praized. Praized going to end up following Kenny in a tough spot as well. A very quick initial coming through from the Pittsburgh Knights. That's going to be 4 down for UYU. Powerz is the last member alive. He's just going to try and hold down this home hill.
Yeah, just a lot of fights that PK was able to take. You know, the neutral obviously very important up top was huge. And for the overextension, Xplosive tried to get it, but shut down by player 7, right? Raver able to kind of knock him out of the way. For Monkyz, though, with that Marksa, he's going to be deadly. Right, go back to Gears 4 with the Marksa. He was just so good with it. And, of course, it's still the same here, even with it not hitting as hard as it used to. But you can see him connecting shots, following it up with a snub, getting the finishes. But for UYU, they continue to pressure the issue. I thought they were going for the overextension, but an audible has been made. They go mid, but PK's right there on their heels. 4 again will drop. And how much can you take if you are UYU? Xplosive spawns back in. 1 out of 4, of course, last round of the half, but PK's not going to give it up. Smoke is down. It's chaos. Bit of a misroll from TJ. I thought he for sure he hit that second shot. He doesn't. PK going in. 4 again down. That is that 5. That is what that is the third time that 4 members were dropped on UYU. That was a dominating round for PK.
No, it certainly was. And that's going to give us a deadlock first half. Both teams going at it. Everything's going to be reset. The hills are going to move. Respawn's going to be just completely filled back up. Now you said you're going to see that bow up top, Taylor. I'm seeing the control tower starting to be played with. Are we going to see potentially the Marksa being upgraded? No? Backside?
Yeah, that's
I'm
what
waiting for something.
I expected it. Look, torque bow utility. So what PK is going to do, they're just going to get their utility to match that of UYU. I'm actually really surprised about this.
Whoa!
What? And I did not expect that. I did not expect that.
Like K1 escalation feels right now. Remember Taylor with the teams and the drop shots up top and everything, or the drop shots in the spot. You can rotate a drop shot up top of the E-League. This is going to be interesting. So now, I mean, in Gears 4, we had fights like this sometimes. People would throw a boomer, a drop up top, and it makes the fight up here just freaking nuts. I don't know what other way to say it. It's just freaking nuts up here.
Oh, it's already nuts. Identivez, beautiful kill. TJ and Xplosive. Actually, TJ is going to be in that 1v1 incinerator. He will win it, but Button, of course, is going to be pressed by player number 8. He knows that. He's getting out of the way. But he stays up. So drop shot in the hands of PK. Actually going for it completely. Someone's going to back off, though. Drop shot's now out. Doesn't connect, surprisingly. It seems like it was like shooting fish in a barrel. There were so many people around. So Identivez will be proud. Too easy. Picks up that kill. Active reload is in. Kenny's going for the pickup. And, you know Identivez, he's baiting this. Kenny knows it. He's not even going to go for it. He's like, it's not worth it. I'm sorry. Hey, Powerz, look, I'm sorry. And second drop shot's going to be out of the way. So drop shot's now nullified. But look at the lead PK has acquired. Right? I mean, they are up a massive amount.
Darn, just seeing a lot of good team fire coming through from the Knights. Xplosive and Praized just in a very, very tough spot. How about them continuing to get those chain revives off, but the pressure has just been absolutely relentless. Xplosive almost gets one on the way out, but he ends up falling. So the Knights with a very large lead. That's going to be 3 members down for UYU. Already sitting at about an 80-point lead and counting.
All right, UYU again, 3 members down. It's devastating. UYU is constantly 4 members down. Xplosive TJ now respawning back in. The lead for PK is just so commanding. And as soon as Praized will fall, yep, it's going to be a 5-man wipe. And that's going to be PK taking a little bit of a lead. 3-2. I think that's 2 rounds in a row it will be. And now PK looking good. You know, the scoreline's 3-2, but those last 2 rounds were just so decisive, so dominating. Again, let's go back to that last round, right? The last round of the first half. And the torque bow does get upgraded. We knew that was going to happen with the drop shot up top. So obviously that's going to be hugely impactful, especially for Monkyz. But you go back a couple of rounds and 3 times UYU was, killed off four at a time, right? And I mean, it was hugely impactful. And even last round, the fight for drop shot went to the way of PK because Identivez picking up the 2-piece. And Raver will actually be our guy with the torch, so that's fair enough. But now that torque is going to help up top. So this is UYU. I mean, they really need to go big here because now they gave a free torque bow to their teammates. Xplosive now will be feeling the effects of that. 2 members are going to be down for UYU. 5 strong for PK. Drop shot in the hand of Identivez. And Ryan, this is looking scary.
Yeah, it is, man. So far, through these first couple initials with this fight, PK has just looked much stronger, right? They look much more ready for this fight. Kenny's going to try to grab one on the way out. Does almost grab the second one as well. Great job by Kenny using that great sneaky movement to grab one and even get a second one. Incredible stuff coming through from Kenny, buying his team some numbers as a player up top waiting for him. I think he spotted him. Dezonide is going to end up getting that trade. Nonetheless, though, good job by them to just kind of stop the bleeding and slow PK down.
Absolutely. Good stuff coming out from them, as you said. And PK's put themselves in a winning position, despite them not having the neutral. But this is the thing. Identivez gets that active reload in. More importantly, he doesn't have to use the drop shot. He's got Dezo up top for the button press. I think it is still regenerating, so we might see a drop shot actually come in. For Identivez, though, I'm actually surprised he's pushing up as far as he is. Xplosive tries to slip through the cracks, but quickly spotted out. For Raver, though, he will fall. This is big. Identivez out of the way, so drop shot gone. That advantage, no more. 4 members from PK now gone. Dezo and SuMuNs last up. For UYU, they're all over the map looking to lock this in. And for player number 6, though, that's a big pickup on Xplosive and an even bigger pickup if he's able to take down Kenny. Kenny now is going to be Lancered out. No way he lives here. Best case scenario takes down 1, which he doesn't. But for UYU, they stick it, they turn it around, and they maintain the lead.
See Raver trying to chase down Powerz. Powerz just making the smart move. Getting out with his life. And of course, you're in those situations right now for PK, who has button control, but UYU has the hill, right? So a lot of times you can use the button to kind of maintain or protect that neutral hill, but unfortunately they don't have the hill, so they can't just kind of sit up there forever. They got to make something happen. UYU's trying to fight back for that button control, but right now Pittsburgh Knights are just putting them in the blender. That's now 5 versus 3. Here's the opportunity right now for the Knights to grab control of that neutral hill. TJ and Praized are the only players remaining.
You'll get taken down again. PK, that slaying power coming to the forefront, and it may seem like UYU's in control, but they're really not. PK is now starting to pressure in on the home end, but Powerz, though, looking to go big. He's going to pick up one, goes in for the second. Beautiful movement, but not going to happen. He will finally get taken down. For Kenny, though. He goes to take his place. SuMuNs, though, is going to connect with the drop. Goes in for 2. Beautiful kill from Kenny. But is it enough? UYU still with the win condition. Kenny will get the break on the E, so Kenny might have just put the round in UYU's hands. And SuMuNs will get the break on the D, but it's not going to be enough. E is still locked in. There's still a chance, though, for PK. Let's not forget that. As player 5 is going to be pressure from 7, so if Raver wins this fight, oh, that's a beautiful window for Praized to lock in the home hill, and Kenny will get chunked. So still, though, if player 9 picks this fight up, which he doesn't, they could have won. If Monkyz wins that, the opportunity was there, but UYU will hold on, cap out at 250 to tie it 3-3. But by no means, Ryan, was it easy.
No, I mean, Praized honestly made a huge play there by winning that 1v1, right? We knew they had that neutral hill, but you had to kind of figure that neutral hill was a ticking time bomb, right? We knew that the boys on PK were going to move towards that at all costs. So Praized winning that fight maintained UYU's score for them and gave them the one hill that they needed to hang on. So great stuff coming through from him. And now we find ourselves here at 3-3. I do think the UYU needs to do better on this initial, especially during that up top fight with the drop shot. I don't know if they'll be able to continue pulling rounds out like that, losing initials. So see what they got in store for us. Both teams are going to have a torque bow, Taylor. We got a drop shot up top, and both teams have a torque bow on the side. This is going to be insane up top. There's going to be explosions. There's going to be smoke grenades, flashbangs. There's just going to be mayhem up there.
And don't forget, the torque bow for PK is going to be halved out, right? So they're going to be able to get double the torque bow than that of UYU. But still, this fight up top is so deadly, and UYU's only committing 3. They're going into a 3v4. They might have just literally given away. And there's the 4th one who's going to be joining up. Okay, he was just a bit late to the party. I think he was wanting that torque bow to kind of take him to the fight, but UYU is starting to make it happen. Identivez will fall. That's going to be 4 down. Dezo now up to his own devices, running away, trying to stay up as long as he can. UYU hot on his heels, though. Drop shot in the hands of Kenny. Domination coming in. You got to get a touch, PK. You got to get there. SuMuNs, sprint as fast as you can. not going to make it happen. 36 seconds and UYU on the cusp of taking the victory and winning week number 9.
1 round away, man. Hey, all that talk about the slump, all that talk about how they're playing. I mean, geez, right now they're not looking like they're in a slump to me. They're playing very, very well. And we just said it right before that round started. We'd love to see them do better on the initial. And that's exactly what they did, right? They almost had that sort of, felt like a late rotation up top, right? But once they got up there, man, they wolf-packed it well and they got the better of that engagement, got away with the weapons, and they finished the round off. So now they find themselves, my favorite phrase, they find themselves on map point, they find themselves on match point, and now tournament point.
Like you said, match point, tournament point. We've seen a lot of great plays from PK. Leads me to believe that they're going to tie this series up. However, no torque bow for the boys of UYU. And not that it made that big of an impact, actually, in that quick 36-second round last one. But SuMuNs and Dezo will fall. Identivez now having to go big. Put into the blender, though, will pick up 1. There is some light at the end of the tunnel. Actually gets away with his life to join his teammates. But for UYU, hot in the hills, they're going to continue to pressure up. Getting now angled out by Raver from the flank. The drop shot in the hands of Xplosive. And it will be used as Monkyz will fall. And now Raver goes in for a roll. It seems it gets chunked. That's 3 down. SuMuNs and Dezo last alive. You're going to have a 1v1 between player number 6. And that's actually SuMuNs versus 2. So he wins that fight. Xplosive catches Dezo. Dezo, I don't know what he was thinking. And SuMuNs gets burnt. That is huge. He's now drops down 2 lives, 1 out of 4. And Ryan, UYU has put themselves in a very winnable situation.
That is such a big play coming through from Xplosive. Not only does he get the kill up top, takes a line of sight to control, also hits the button, stops the cap, and gets the kill. Incredible plays coming through from the IGL of this UYU squad. And yeah, you said it puts them in a great spot because obviously PK, they're against map points. They have to basically continue to throw the respawns at everything they can. So right now, SuMuNs on pretty thin ice. Of course, still plenty of round to go for this Pittsburgh Knights squad, but this game of trades back and forth is not the game they want to play right now. As Xplosive once again gets a double kill. Taylor, he is clutching up crazy this round.
Absolutely. So Identivez, I mean, come on, the IGL, the king of Latin America, now trying to just hold his own. Beautiful shot on the TJ. Great spacing. You can notice he is really doing this well. But for UYU, they'll finally angle him out. And you can see that happening as Kenny kind of went up top, TJ then on the bottom. Nowhere for Identivez to go other than in the middle. Mind you, though, I do want to remind you of the disable of the torque bow from PK. So torque bow is out of play. So it's something to keep in mind. But for UYU, looking very good. And PK knows that second drop shot's coming in and they got to push for it. They got to go in hard.
Coming up top. By the way, Taylor, in the midst of all these pushes up top and everything, keep in mind UYU has a 2-cap, right? So UYU is continuing to build what is already a 100+ point lead. And look at TJ over cover, Taylor.
Oh, yeah.
Playing perfectly. Full spread after full spread. And that's got to be it right there. That's going to be 4 dead. That's going to be a trip cap. And Taylor, we didn't say they're the favorite coming into this. And once again, every time we doubt this team, they come in with a big old reminder of who they are. UYU takes the grand finals 2-0 in what was honestly pretty strong fashion.
100%. Look, 10-4 overall round count. That comes off the back of that Vascar 5-1. And UYU, again, repeating history as they did in week number 7, beating out PK in grand finals 2-0. So good on them. And, that makes things interesting, right? Because this is, 2 teams that, even though UYU has been struggling as of recently, without question, that victory is huge.